Good afternoon. Rich Nash, Executive Vice President with Open Systems Media and leader of the Embedded IoT franchises, here for this week's 5 Minutes with Discussion. This week, I'm speaking to Simon Arkell. He is the General Manager of Software Platforms and Analytics at Greenwave Systems. Good afternoon, Simon. How are you?
Hey, Rich. How you doing? Thanks for having me.
Oh, my pleasure. That's a pretty long title you got there.
I know. I think I have the record in the office.
Very good, very good. Okay, so let's get into this. Now, I did a little perusing on the Greenwave website, and it says that Greenwave Systems is leading the Internet of Things industry. That's a pretty darn bold statement that you're making there. Let me challenge you on that. What are you doing to lead the IoT industry?
Well, I think it's a good question. You know, Greenwave has been around for 8 years, and in that time we built a great horizontal platform for the Internet of Things. And what that means is that we can enable business models and revenue-generating activities for our partners and customers. And so instead of just going out and licensing technology for customers to use and selling them something, we're actually enabling our customers, who are really our partners, to build compelling business models and generate revenue from IoT, which, if you've been in the IoT space, is something that is not that easy to do. A lot of companies have tried and failed to become significant in IoT because it's a nascent market. It's a huge market. It's going to get a lot bigger. But figuring out how to monetize that has been difficult. So we've developed the Axon platform, which is a horizontal platform. The initial focus of the company a number of years ago was in the green sector. And so in the energy management space, we were able to develop great business models and really monetize smart home applications. So we developed devices and software for the management of that. But then moving into the telco operator space, we're actually enabling the telco operators to develop pretty compelling business models. And so they're enabling millions, if not tens of millions, of their devices in smart home and even industrial and commercial applications with the Greenwave Axon platform. So that's been a really profitable and successful thing. We're 300 people. We're in 5 countries. We're profitable, which is also a very rare thing in the Internet of Things space. And we've enabled not only residential applications like smart home and energy usage for utilities like huge companies like E.ON in Europe, but we've done a number of industrial and commercial applications and have significant momentum in that space as well. So when about 6 months ago, my company, Prediction Software, was acquired by Greenwave, and I was the CEO founder of that company, and we developed edge analytics. And you're from embedded computing design, so in the embedded space, we're actually now finishing up the development of a micro-footprint analytics engine that can sit on very small devices like sensors, but also be embedded on the chipset itself. So we're partnering with a number of chipset vendors and really looking to lock up the market by having our analytics engine basically pre-installed on the silicon at the factory so that we can beat out the competition and be there before anyone else can. So I think we're leading it financially. We're leading the industry from a visionary perspective, but we're actually executing tactically as well on some really compelling and defensible technologies.
Okay, so from what I'm getting from you, though, and where I'm bothered by this is that it seems like you're trying to be all things to all people. You talked about applications that are on 2 different ends of the spectrum, and that's a hard thing to do. So are you playing the entire horizontal, or do you have a specialty in consumer or industrial or someplace else?
Well, it's a horizontal platform, which means we do play across different verticals, and that means we partner with companies that do focus on those specific verticals. So as an enabling platform, we're able to develop significant revenue in the residential or consumer space, and we've done that very successfully with some very large operators and carriers like Verizon and many others. And on the other end of the spectrum, commercial all the way through to industrial, We're enabling partners with specific analytic applications and our horizontal platform for device management and device connectivity. So we play in that platform space for sure. We don't develop too many end-user applications except to seed the market, but then we are partnering with companies to help give them the technology that makes this mission-critical carrier-grade software that they couldn't get by, as an example, selecting from the open source. So it's a very focused model from an enabling platform, but that enables us to cross over many verticals. It may look defocused, but it's actually part of the strategy.
Now, are you beholden to any particular technology, be it an operating system, be it a particular microprocessor, or are you completely technology agnostic?
We're agnostic. We have a cloud platform that can work across and in many other different cloud services or private cloud. So that does everything from device management and connectivity, firmware upgrades, and now edge analytics, where we can develop and deploy an edge analytic engine onto small devices. But then through the device management, we can send analytic scripts to make these devices smarter and smarter over time, so they can identify through machine learning issues that are pending for predictive maintenance, as an example. But then we can continue to upgrade those and update them, and then have them automatically take action when they predict a pending failure or issue. So it's a great technology that crosses over many different types of platforms and operating systems. And in fact, on the chipset side, we've now entered into agreements with 5 different chipset vendors who will be pre-installing this technology on their silicon at the factory. So it's pretty exciting stuff, and I think it helps really lock up the market.
So it sounds like you think this Internet of Things thing is for real, and it's going to be with us for a while.
Yeah, I don't think it's a blip on the radar. I think it's here to stay. Obviously, with 50 billion devices being connected over the next few years, everyone's in for quite a ride. And with a very frothy, dynamic market, there's going to be a lot of roadkill, but whoever figures it out is going to be a huge success in the multi-billions.
I hadn't heard it referred to as roadkill before, but I definitely see where you're going with that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's hard to monetize this stuff when the industry is so nascent, but I think business models are coming together, and as an enabler of different business models, we're actually in demand right now. We're helping generate revenue from a number of different segments for telco operators, cable operators, and even the chipset companies and the industrial end users. So everyone's participating and just trying to figure it out right now, but we're at the forefront of that.
Very good. Well, thank you very much. That was Simon Arkell. He is the General Manager of Software Platforms and Analytics at Greenwave Systems, and I'm Rich Nass with Open Systems Media. Thank you, Simon. Have a great day.
Thanks, Rich. Appreciate it.